Alianza Metropolitan News, tu periódico impreso y digital con notas locales y nacionales que informan y son de interés para los hispanos. Por favor, visítanos en www.alianzanews.com. Eso es www.alianzaconznews.com.
We know that across the country, and indeed throughout the world, public transit is an easily accessible and affordable way for human traffickers to transport their victims hidden in plain sight. Our frontline workers are in a unique position to see a lot of what goes on in our community, and they are often in critical positions to help people in trouble. About 8 years ago, VTA initiated training for our frontline workers, our bus and light rail operators, to understand the signs of human trafficking and to know what to do if they notice something suspicious. Just a couple of months after the first training, one of our bus operators was able to put it to good use, which resulted in the rescue of a kidnapped 4-year-old boy. Since then, the California state law has gone into effect, Assembly Bill 2034, or AB 2034, modeled after the training we provided here at VTA. The new law requires all transit agencies in the state to educate their frontline workers on how to spot human trafficking and what to do if they spot it. We are very proud of our local assembly member, Ash Kalra, who sponsored and pushed AB 34 into law. And we thank Ruth Silvertaub, who's here today, for her diligent work in that process as well. You'll hear from Ruth in a moment.
Something that's suspicious, we want to encourage people to make phone calls, but very unique. The transportation systems in our country give us an opportunity really to stop this, whether it's sex trafficking or labor trafficking, and there's both that we have to address in our community. I do want to just wrap up by saying this. I think the leadership of VTA, Ash Kalra, the district attorney, Jeff Rosen, then Sheriff Lori Smith, the South Bay Coalition to End Human Trafficking, Ruth Silvertaub, who doesn't let any of us get away with moving too fast forward without making sure we're doing it the right way, has played a leadership role. The Office of Gender-Based Violence, the Office of Women's Policy. And I say all of that because what it means is that the deeper we get into our communities, the more we pay attention to our surroundings, the more opportunity that we're going to have to end human trafficking in our communities. And I'm just so excited with VTA's leadership on this, excited about the training program. I'm sure it'll be a model, again, for transit agencies across the country. And I'm very excited to see the new bus route, because this will make sure that everybody in our community has an opportunity to help us end the scourge of human trafficking. Thank you for letting me be a part of today.
Thank you.
Well, good morning and Happy New Year. My name is Patrick Van Eer. I am the lead prosecutor for the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office Human Exploitation Unit. And it's a pleasure to be here today on behalf of DA Jeff Rosen and the many county partners for the beginning of Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Over the last several years, my office has been a proud partner with so many county stakeholders as we expand out Santa Clara County's anti-human trafficking initiatives. Developing such partnerships, like with VTA, with the South Bay Coalition to End Human Trafficking, Community Solutions, the San Jose Police Department, and many other local, state, and federal entities, we've been able to grow our County Human Trafficking Task Force to one of the largest human trafficking task forces in the state of California. I speak for DA Rosen when I say that he couldn't be more proud to have the District Attorney's Office Bureau of Investigations managing this task force as we begin to expand. And we couldn't have done this without our friendship and our colleagues on the Board of Supervisors who have made such an investment in this important work. In a short period of time, LIGHT Task Force, the Santa Clara County Human Trafficking Task Force, and allied agencies have engaged in dozens of proactive investigations, weeding out both labor and sex trafficking offenders. Just this past week, LIGHT investigators worked collaboratively with the Prince George's County Human Trafficking Task Force in Maryland, arresting 29-year-old Donovan Dawkins of Lanham, Maryland, for human trafficking of a minor as he attempted to fly a 16-year-old juvenile female from San Jose, California, out to Maryland for purposes of prostituting out a child. First, I want to congratulate the task force on another successful investigation. I want to thank them for giving up their time with their families over the holiday to fly out to Maryland in order to take this child predator off the street. Second, this case underscores how our transportation apparatus in this country can be a location for these trafficking crimes. Creating awareness campaigns to bring attention to the scourge of human exploitation requires robust partnership. And my office is proud to be a partner with Valley Transit Authority in renewing efforts to promote awareness and fighting human trafficking along our county transit lines. Through a Federal Transit Administration grant, VTA has assumed a leadership role in the efforts by providing an educational campaign in bringing attention to human trafficking in this county, educating passengers, transit employees, and specifically frontline workers in identifying the indicators and the red flags for human trafficking. And when those offenses are made known, knowing who to report these crimes to so that law enforcement can get involved and hold these offenders accountable, and also, more importantly, recovering these survivors and getting them the assistance and the support services that they so desperately need. This is the work that helps us identify the Donovan Dotkins of the world and recovering vulnerable victims, both adults and child, and no longer have them become victims of human trafficking.